I would love for you to share with me where you were before you started coaching with me and where you wanted to go.
Yeah. When I started coaching, well, I reached out to you because I felt really stuck. I felt that I was in a place that I couldn't move from. And I know I'd worked with you in the past and you'd certainly got me moving. So I reached out and approached you with what I wanted to do. I wanted to have more energy. I wanted to feel better about myself. And obviously weight was a big issue as well that I wanted to focus on.
Yeah, beautiful. And so the main things was maybe feeling more confident in yourself again, so you had the nutrition and the training program before, so it was more about like getting back into action with that and just feeling more of yourself.
Yes, definitely.
And you said that we'd worked together before, so what's been the main difference from when we worked together previously to now?
When we've worked together previously, it was definitely a focus on nutrition and exercise, whereas this time it's been much more of a spiritual journey. I've learnt so much more about myself that I never knew. And like you said, things keep coming back in cycles unless you change something. Yeah. And that has been a complete eye-opener to me, uncovering things that I've been doing subconsciously and finding out why I am where I'm at has been a real eye-opener. And I think because you know me so well, you can kind of tap deeper into me than perhaps I can often, self-reflect. And that's really got me thinking, and it's really got me approaching myself and life in a different way.
Yeah, I love hearing that. Like, I literally got goosebumps because when we do not know, it's very hard to change. But when you're given a different perspective, you're like, wow, eyes open up and you're like, actually, I want to know more. I want to know more of how and why I've been operating the way that I've been operating. And so, yeah, that just makes my heart happy that that's been the case. And so we've had a 12-week program. We're 8 weeks in. What's been the main highlights over those past 8 weeks?
I think just the understanding of what's going on and why it's going on, and having the power to now be able to change that. Yeah. So instead of just passively going along, I can now recognize my own traits. And when I'm starting to go back into old patterns that, the programming that's happened, and be able to stop myself and refocus and look at a different way of doing something that is going to give me more energy, that's going to be more beneficial to me, and to stop that kind of cycle of, okay, here we go again.
Yeah, and I think that's the difference between like where we were at last time. It was more a physical journey, whereas now these things have played out through life, and it's now become more of a spiritual journey that actually, like, what's going on here? Why hasn't these things changed so much? And I think that's the huge difference, is like, even though we say spiritual, it's more just about coming into yourself, more understanding about like, who am I? Why am I doing these things? When it's a physical journey, it's about like, why is my body not working the way it is? But we forget about so much emotional attachment, so much like mental and all these things that actually go on outside of just the physical body. And I'm sure that you've noticed that big change from like, okay, this is not just about my physical body. Like, what else has been going on here? Like, and for years that's been going on, that's been simmering in the background that now we're just bringing to light.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is that the reprogramming that I think makes such a difference, because otherwise you do, if you always did what you've always done, you're always going to get that same result, or you're going to end up at the same point. Yeah. And so, changing that or diving into that understanding about yourself and how to kind of move things forward rather than being stuck in that rut.
Yeah, and also we've added in there some quantum surgeries, all this kind of stuff that you probably even weren't even aware of. Like, how do you feel when you were doing that, and how do you feel like that's changed as well? Like,
yeah, and it wasn't something that I'd ever done before, and it certainly I felt lighter. You know, after the quantum surgery, I think that kind of takes that, you know, brings you to a level of understanding of what you've been holding on to for so long, and having that released, you know, physically and mentally, I felt lighter.
yeah, so good. And you didn't even know really what we were in for. I was
No.
just like, okay, I've got this program sorted out for you. Here's 12 weeks. We're going to go through here. You really actually didn't know what we were doing each week. And that's the best thing, is that you actually don't know. So the mental, because otherwise the mental brain puts so many barriers. But you just trusted the process, and you're like, well, if it's going to get me from here to here, like, that's obviously what I need. So I love that you trusted the process and just went with like how you were feeling in the moment. And I guess that we'd worked together before, so you already had that level of trust that you knew, like, okay, I know she's all good, like she's got it sorted. So I guess the last question is, why would you work with a coach, or me in general? Like, what is that?
I never would have discovered any of this by myself.
Yeah.
I think you've got to have, like you said, you've got to have a level of trust, but it's about digging deeper, and it's about finding out about yourself what you didn't know, and being able to tap into areas that I would have no clue of how to access. So it's almost like having a key to a door to be able to open that door. You know, without the coaching, I don't think you get access to things that you would never understand yourself. It's about having that unpacked. It's about, you know, showing that mirror to you of what is happening that you can't see yourself.
Yeah. And like, it doesn't have to be a negative thing. Like, some people think like diving deep into themselves can be like negative, it'd bring up so much stuff. But like you said, it actually makes you feel lighter. Like, when you can actually release this stuff that you had no idea was even there, it's unconsciously running in the background. And when you can actually let that go, it hasn't been a hard process for you, has it? Like,
No, not at all.
Like, it has to be sad and angry, and like we have a way where we can do it when it's with more ease, flow and grace, where you're understanding, you're tapping into more of yourself, and on the other side, you're feeling more empowered, you're feeling lighter, you're feeling like, I've got this. Like,
correct. And it does feel very empowering, because you're taking it, you know, obviously you're giving all the tools and you're giving all the resources, but it's something that you have to do yourself. It's something that deep diving is something that you need to do in order to be able to move forward.
Yeah, love it. So exciting. Well, I'm so happy that we've got 4 weeks left of this journey, and let's see what else we can unpack and uncover. And
I'm looking forward to it. It is a big surprise.
That's great though. Otherwise, like what I said, the mind makes up all these things when we're just like, we can be present in the moment. So I love that it's a surprise. And you're getting such big gains from it, so it's all
for sure.
Thank you so much, Sam.
My pleasure. I've got my homework to do now.
Yes, you do. All right. Thank you.